Hello, everyone, and this is Brother Benson. I'm still in Kisumu, and we are still continuing with the coverage of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. And I hope and believe some of my panelists will be here. I can see Miguel is here. Miguel, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you, bro? Can you hear from my end?
Yeah, I can hear you. How is your day?
Oh, okay. My day has been long and I'm quite doing good where I am.
Yep.
Only we have got instruction that no one is supposed to sleep. Only Baba is allowed to sleep, so everybody's awake.
Actually, I can confirm to you because I just came right now. If you go to from town, there's a place where next to Bunge la Wananchi, there are people there who are lighting candles and dancing, come all the way to Kondele too. These people are in that roundabout. They're dancing, lighting candles. And last time I was at Mamboleo, where the body of the Right Honorable Prime Minister will be there in the next maybe 10 to 15 hours. We were also there. And something that was quite amazing was not even surprising to me was that there are quite a number of people who came all the way from Kakamega and they were saying they're going to spend in the field. Also, there are those who came all the way from Nairobi already, and they were there. So I tell you, I can agree with what you've just said that Baba is the only person who is allowed to sleep today. So there's quite much activity that took place during the day today, especially the public, the viewing of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the prayers, the prayers, that took place at Nyayo Stadium. So we will discuss about that, and I'm seeing our good friend is here with us. Hi, Brother Benson Media and the team. Hey, how are you doing? And we are here again today to talk about the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, everything that took place. Let me welcome here my brother. Barak, how are you doing, sir?
Hi, brother Ben. How are you? I'm doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we are morning,
Yeah.
but I'm fine. What about you?
I'm okay. It has been an eventful day for me, especially we started in the morning. Actually, in the morning we were somewhere just watching the what was taking place in the television. Then after that, we had to travel all the way. We went all the way to Mamboleo to see how the preparation was. Luckily enough, when we were there, we saw the PS came in his chopper. The senator of the senator of Migori, Eddie Muktu, came there with the chopper. Then there was security agencies, the multi-security agencies were there, including the governor of Kisumu too. They were having a meeting to deliberate on what will take place tomorrow. And after that, they addressed the news. Um, they gave the they gave the information what will take place. So it has been an eventful day, especially in Kisumu. And as Miguda was in here, I told him that if you go to town, especially next to Cantons, if you know that area, just next to Ingala Wananchi, there are quite a number of Kisumu residents celebrating their dancing over there. Come all the
Yeah.
way to Mandele, on the roundabout, they are still there. And when you also come from Kondele along the car wash area, that road right now, it's quite much very busy. I tell you, like people are just dancing back and forth, back and forth. So Kisumu is active, and I know it's going to be active until 3 p.m. tomorrow. So that is what I can tell you. You're getting a greeting from Goodyear. This is Gypsy Connor saying, "How are you, Barak?" So Barack, let's have a conversation, especially today. What happened in Nyayo? Something that now I would start with uh, to say that security agencies today did a wonderful job. The way they organized everything, to me, I feel they did well. Another thing that I also would say that it was, I was very happy to see the body of the Right Honorable Prime Minister was taken to the Parliament, and that was something that was supposed to be done, especially when he arrived from India. Then that was not during the day that he came. It was not possible, but today he was lying in the state. For you, what can you say about him lying in the state before proceeding to the Nyayo National Stadium?
Well, hi, Gypsy Corner. Nice to see you here again today. Well, I agree with you that there was a lot of improvement today from the organization, from the state funerals to the public viewing that happened at Nyayo Stadium. And it is very good that today there was no chaos because of the organization that was there. And it's a work in progress, and I think today they did well. Now, seeing Raila being taken to Parliament in the morning, very early in the morning before proceeding to Nyayo Stadium, is a great honor to Raila Odinga. And I think we can say so many things, but on this we must give Ruto credit for the honor that he has befitted the late Raila Odinga. Remember, Raila Odinga never made it to the presidency, but he's been given honors the same that former president had been given. Remember, even his father, who was the first vice president of the Republic of Kenya, never received such honors when he passed away in 1994. So if you are not a former president and you pass away, it is within the the prerogative of the sitting president to decide whether to give you a state funeral or not. So on this one, we give it to Ruto for the honor, and he has made he has united the country because of that, because the treatment that Raila is receiving right now is equivalent to the treatment that the former heads of state received. That is the late President Moi and from the late President Kenyatta, the late Moi, and the late Kibaki. So this has really brought a lot of unity among even the common wananchi and among the political leaders. And seeing, personally, I was very much impressed seeing the opposition leaders at Nyayo Stadium, first of all in Parliament, then at Nyayo Stadium, with the exception of Rigathi Gachagua. The rest, I think, were there.
Yeah.
So that was a show of maturity, a show of patriotism, and a show of unity among our political leaders. And I wish they were just there, all of them, because others decided to stay away for their own personal reasons. And you can also not dictate or force everybody to do the right thing. So for me, I think today was just the best for this country. We made headlines in the international media for the right reason. Even though Kalonzo or any opposition leader was not given an opportunity to address the people today, but their presence there was well enough. If you ask me, I think the fact that even Kalonzo himself cut short his United Kingdom tour, because he was about to be there for 10 days, but he was there only for 2 days. Then he returned because of this loss that we have as a country. That alone demonstrates how he values the country and coming back to mourn with Kenyans and the family of Raila Odinga. I think that's a great honor. And let me tell you, everything that is happening right now, people who are sensible, people who are sane enough are taking notes. And when the right time comes, people will make decisions according to the events that are happening right now. So it might be just we are just mourning and everybody's mourning, but people are really taking stock. And you know, internet never forgets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything that any political leader is doing right now, people are taking stock, and when the time comes in 2027, decisions will be made based on some of the things that are happening right now.
Okay, thank you so much. And I can also see my brother Miguda is here. Miguda, how are you doing? Hello, Miguda, are
I'm
you
doing
there?
great. I'm doing
Yes.
great. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very fine. Now I think I've set my currently I've realized that it's a problem in internet because there's too many people trying to access to the ongoing ceremony of the late right honorable Raila Odinga. So if you are using internet, you tend to have some problems and it begins since yesterday. So I think we just cope up with it.
Okay. Can you hear me again? Okay, I think like okay, Miguda has just said about coping up with the internet. Barracks, thank you so much. There's something that you've said, especially about the president and what the president has done. You know, sometimes we might have our political differences, especially in the political field or the political arena, and this is something that is allowed. But to an extent whereby the president has given or as given proclamation, especially for the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga to be given that state burial. I think that is a big honor, and he deserves credit for that because sometimes we might have again differences in the politics that we do, but the one thing that unites us, that is a nation. All of us belong to one nation called Kenya, and when something like this, like death of Raila, strikes us as a nation, we tend to, or we should put our political differences aside and bring in nationally, like bring that Kenyaism in us. And the president has really done well. Just to maybe good, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I think I can manage it. Right now, I can manage.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we go, we were just saying on how our security agencies have really done a good job today on how everything was organized. It was running so smoothly without a chaotic scenes that we witnessed the previous day. What can you say about what the security have done, and what do you expect them to do, especially in Kisumu?
I just want to join you to upload our security officers today because they have done a very excellent job from morning. People, they were unpredicted. Nobody knew that former Prime Minister remains are going to be laid in state in the parliament. They did it and they informed people when the body already was on the highway going to parliament. So there was not that too commotion. Then also the way they tried to beef security inside Nyayo, we call the ring security, whereby they ensure that the members of the public were safe and also the cops was also safe. I can just applaud them. Now I can say
Hello, Miguda. Okay, thank you so much. We're still waiting for Miguda. And also, we cannot go without thanking the members of the public, especially for showing good respect to the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and even how they carried out themselves during events at Nyayo. And that is what we are expecting to see. Actually, Barack, I want to confirm to you today when we were having a conversation with the majority of the youths in Kisumu, especially at Mamboleo. They promised that they were going to maintain peace. and even I think the governor also asked them to do so, including the PS Raymond Omolo, who also was with us after the briefing. And hopefully, what they said, at Mamboleo, we are expecting to see that tomorrow. And just for those who do not know, the body of the Right Honorable Prime Minister will be arriving at exactly 8. I think it's around 8 a.m. in the morning, and everybody's were being asked to be in the stadium by around 7, so that you can pay your last respect to the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. But at Nyayo, there are so many things that took place. There's so many incidences that took place, especially the leaders who spoke, and even the family of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. There were moments, emotional moments. There were also moments when people would rise up and cheer the leaders. And let me start with the bishop, especially who graced the occasion with the preaching, and he was so much well received, or when he was having his speech, especially talking about the corruption, and everybody stood up and they were cheering in jubilation. What do you make of the bishop's words and the jubilation that people got, especially when he was talking about the corruption and those who are corrupt, Hello, Mr. Barak.
Yes, Bwana Mark, Ben.
Yeah.
I have a problem with us, and I think we just need to be honest with ourselves that we are a confused people.
Yeah.
It's either we don't know, we don't know. I don't know. I don't think we know anything about morals. The bishop really delivered a very wonderful sermon.
Yeah.
What people want to hear, and he was really applauded for that. And when you want to be cheered, just speak something about corruption where Ruto is, because people believe in their mind that Ruto is corrupt,
Yeah.
and so people will assume that you are addressing the president. But then the reason why I'm saying I have a problem with us is because it's like we don't know what corruption is. Yeah, because in our mind we believe that if you get rich, then you are corrupt. If you're not a son of maybe a tycoon, or then you just become rich all of a sudden, then you are corrupt. So if we are talking about corruption and Ruto is there, then you are the hero of the day. And maybe you might find that even the bishop mind was not there. We're just talking about generally the culture in our public service. Yeah. If you visit any public office, what will be your expectation? Is either you will not be served efficiently unless you know someone there, or you are willing to part with some cash to accelerate the service delivery that you require. And we've been struggling with this as a people, but the mind of the masses is that shida iko kwa ule jamaa ule amekaa pale, ule ndiye anaambiwa, sio sisi tunaambiwa, ni ule anaambiwa. Yeah. And until we work on this perception, yeah, we will never move forward as a country when it comes to fight against corruption. Let me ask you just a simple question. Let us deviate from this issue of this issue a bit. It is in the public domain that our traffic police are the most corrupt individuals in the world.
True, especially taking bribes,
Exactly. My question usually is to people when we are discussing corruption, hawa ambao wanachukua hongo kutoka kwa miti ama kutoka kwa ng'ombe ama kutoka kwa watu?
Si kwa binadamu tu, wa Kenya tu wenyewe ndio wanapatia wao.
Hawa wanapatia hawa hongo, hawako corrupt?
Si wako corrupt.
So why are we focusing on one side and forgetting the other side? Because it is very easy to play victim and say okay, polisi amechukua hongo kutoka kwangu, so yeye ni mfisadi sana. Mimi nimempatia hongo, mimi si mfisadi, si ndio? Why are we giving out money? Because we don't want to take responsibility, especially where we are wrong. You break traffic rules, you violate traffic rules, and because you don't want to take responsibility, you don't want to go to the courts, and because you know you are going to maybe to be fined 10,000, you negotiate with the police officer, nikupatie ngapi kwa 10,000, leta mbili, wewe endelea na shughuli zako. Then you say that it's only one party who is corrupt.
So that's maybe how we think. Or that's how.
Then that is where the problem is. We define corruption according to who is receiving, but not about who is giving. If we define the president as someone who is very corrupt, the president is on record as someone who has given his part of his wealth, let me just call it that way, to so many churches, to so many individuals, to so many groups. So many people are beneficiaries of this. Yeah. So if he is guilty as charged, then it means even the lineage, this lineage or this chain of beneficiaries are as charged. Yeah. If he's using his money to get wherever he is, he's using money to give to individuals. Yeah. It is on record that Kenya, apart from Raila Odinga, who is well known for not dishing out goodies, the rest of all the politicians, from the Kenyattas, to the Mois, to the Uhurus, not Uhurus, Uhuru Kenyatta, to Rutos, they are known to be dishing out goodies to entice followers. Just look at how their political parties have been managed. It has been managed because of how they dish out money to people. Yeah. So if we are talking about corruption, let us look into let us look at the mirror and see who is corrupt. Let us not assume that it is just an individual, and if we remove that individual tomorrow, ufisadi itaisha Kenya.
Na sidhani. Na unadhani kwa nini, labda kwa nini tuko na mawazo kama hayo? Kwa nini tukiongelea mambo ya ufisadi unapata kwamba kuna pahali ambao tunaelekeza kama tunapeleka malalamishi ama pahali ambao tunalaumu, ambapo tunajua hapa ndio kitu kinatokea mambo kama hayo?
Because it's the easiest thing to do. A very lazy way of reasoning. Tunazoea kureason na very lazy way. Kwa sababu unajua Kenya, we love being sensational. Yeah. We don't want being we don't like being objective. We don't like being inquisitive. We don't like being interrogative. Tujiulize, kwa nini hii inasemekana hivi? Mimi nikisikia Ben wanasema Ben ni mwizi, ule Ben ni mwizi, kule ule Ben ni mwizi. Sijiulizi ameibia nani? Mbona sijamuona kama ameiba na kitu chochote cha wizi? Ameibia nani? Na huyo Ben ndiye atakuja kwangu kesho na nimpigie kura. Nikishampigia ameshakalia kiti, naweza kusema ule Ben ni mwizi ule. Hata anaiba pale kwa ile kiti na mimi ndo nimemwezesha kuwa pale. Ruto did not make himself the president. He was made president by the Kenyans. More than 7 million voters of this country. Registered voters, adults, not children, adults who are registered as voters in this country. They went to they woke up very early in the morning, they went to the vote and they voted him as the president. The same people are calling him corrupt, I don't know what, and the same people will wake up again in 2027 and make another thief the president. And they will start complaining how that person is stealing from them. That is why I'm telling you, it is very easy to point fingers. It is very easy to blame, but it's very difficult to ask ourselves, how did this happen? Can we do something different to ensure that it does not repeat itself again? Because that is why we always end up with leaders that we hate. Then tukishawatoa tena tunawapenda. Look at how Uhuru was celebrated today. The same Uhuru was being Maliza uende mlevi wewe. Today he was the man of the moment, the hero. Watu wanasema the best president that we ever seen. But when he was there, alikuwa anaambiwa nini? Mpaka akakuwa nicknamed Wanjohi, meaning wa pombe. And this, surely, you know, as a country, we need to get serious. Saa hizi Raila mwenye tunamlaumu atupigani ndio huyo ameshajiondoa ameenda. Yeah? So tutaanza kulaumu nani? Atupigani. Because hata tulienda kashikana na Ruto tulianza kusema umetusaliti. Kwenda kabisa. He has gone now. Kabisa, he's not coming back. So tutaanza kulaumu nani? Atupigani. When we continue to elect demagogues as our leaders. Yeah? You know, we are doing injustice for this country by electing leaders without interrogating. Yeah? Then we start blaming the same people that we elected ourselves. Therefore, let me just not go beyond there. I think the bishop was on point. He did his job well done, and Raila has gone. He did his part when he was here with us. 8 years sio mchezo, my friend. 8 years, you know. Kufika 8 years, Bible imepeana mpaka 70. Above 70 ni bonus. Ni bonus. Aliongeza mpaka 70. So kibarua imebaki kwetu sisi wananchi.
Okay, asante sana. Na labda tu kabla hujaenda kwa ufupi tu ukisikiza labda pale alikuwa anasema kwamba we should continue to live the legacy of Raila Amolo Odinga, yet some of the things that they're telling us to live on, or some of the things that they're telling us that we should practice, they did not practice them when the right honorable prime minister was still alive. Do you think that one is going to be possible in his death?
Hiyo mambo ilikuwa ya hapo tu kwa matanga. Wakishatoka hapo wapatie wiki moja. Utaona wakiitana majina tena. Sasa bwana Kitandawili ameenda, sio ataanza kuitana nani. Sasa ikatakuwa sasa mishale yote imeelekezwa kwa Ruto because he's in power. Akitoka hivi tena mishale zinaelekezwa. We are a society that is full of hypocrites. Yeah? I wish Mufu anaweza amuka na askataze watu ambaye bwana please don't use my funeral to lie to the world. And these lies that we tell each other for funerals, because we cannot, I don't know to do what. We need to be a truthful nation. Yeah. Even some people who are there saying all the manner of things that we are saying about Raila, they are the same people who ensure that Raila will never become president in this country. The same people. The same people who ensure that he will never, and he never became president because of them. Today, wamesimama pale, what they are heaping praises on him, kama melala kwa sanduku, kwa coffin. Hii unafiki ndio inafanya nchi yetu ili endelea vizuri. Na utaona kesho akienda atatoka matanga sini Sunday. Alafu Ruto aende kule Kitui Monday. From there, siasa ianze kupigwa kama kawaida. You will listen to what they will be saying. They will be saying total different things. We are not ready to change and become a country that talk the truth. Okay. And we want to go to a funeral, tuanze kudanganyana. Tuende kwa matanga, tuendelee kudanganyana. That will not help us.
Okay, asante sana Mr. Bado tuko na mazungumzo mengi tutazungumzia, kwa sababu katika hafla ya leo ama katika hafla ambayo ilifanyika pale uwanja wa Nyayo, kulikuwa na vingi ambazo tuliona, sana sana viongozi waliongea. Umegusia tu kidogo mapokezi, labda Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta aliyekuwa rais wa Kenya alipata sana sana kutoka kwa waombolezaji ambao walikuwepo. Miguda, habari gani?
Niko salama. Nimepata internet sasa, nimepata internet poa.
Okay, sawa. Labda tu kwa ufupi, ulisikia yale yalitolewa na askofu wakati ambao alikuwa anatuhubiria pale Nyayo, akazungumzia mambo ya ufisadi, akazungumzia uongozi, na kawarai wananchi ama na viongozi waishi ile maisha Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga alikuwa anaishi. We kwako unaweza sema nini?
I would like to speak in English to cover everybody because there are people who actually don't understand in our midst. I just want to say, like me, I understand very well. I understand religion. I also understand theological part of it because I'm also taking some courses on it. When the clergy was informed in prayer that he was going to preside over the state funeral of Right Honorable Raila Odinga as a sermonator or the preacher, you have to prepare earlier. That's the first rule. So when he was preparing, I was able to read him. When he was preparing, he prepared his sermon based on the late Raila the person, the enigma. Who was the enigma? Enigma was somebody who was fighting injustice. Enigma was someone who was not a corrupt person. So the sermon was to reflect the life of the deceased. He was not even focusing on the audience lifestyle. That's why you need to interpret it deeply. Then he also, when he talked about the issue of, it was about corruption, and also he talked about the issue of who is going to fill the shoes of Raila Odinga. Even though the director played with the director played so that the image of where Babu was sitting appeared on the camera. So people say, okay, not that he knew very well that the kind of reception Baba received from JKIA and the kind of love Baba have, none among the audience or in the history of the Kenyan, no one has ever received so much love. Even Jaramogi never received that much love. So the sermon was basically prepared on the deceased, not the living. And if you interpret it that he was directly pointing at Ruto or he was directly addressing Babu Owino, then you have misinterpreted because the clergy prepared earlier and he was focusing on the deceased lifestyle because we are focusing on it. And that's why we were even very clear yesterday when we were beginning, when I died that for now, let us mourn Baba. Those things of succession, those things of corruption, like we have said, Barack have said that from Monday you'll politics. We will discuss them later. We know. But for now, let us mourn Baba. So the clergy in his wisdom, because he's someone who is I think he is wise. I am able to know he is wise. He was very rich in terms of research, and also he understands what to say. So, according to me, the sermon was basically for the life well lived of Right Honorable Prime Minister, not even the people who attend the funeral. So I think that's my scope.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda, for that. And because like we just want to focus especially on the speeches of the leaders who spoke, including the family of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. We had Oburu speaking. Also, let's just focus on Oburu for a minute, especially something that I really got from Oburu is that when it comes to their family, he is the eldest and he is the person that controls the Jaramogi's family as the head or as the spokesperson. But now when it comes to the political world, Raila becomes his leader, or Raila was his leader. Mr. Barack, how is that one possible, and how were they able to carry out themselves, especially in the political arena, whereby you know that my brother is the eldest, especially when it comes to domestic, but when it comes to party, I'm your leader. How did they exchange that respect, especially in the political field and also in their home at Jaramogi?
Thank you, Mark, Ben, for that. Raila Odinga, the way Oburu said, he was very bold and brave to confront even those who were disturbing them in their time when they were going to, I don't know if it's primary school or whatever, together. And remember, Raila Odinga was part and parcel of Second Liberation. That was the scramble for multi-party democracy in the 90s and 91, before we had our first ever election under multi-party in 1992. And remember, Raila joined parliament in 1992 as a member of parliament for Langata. And Oburu joined parliament in 1994 after the death of his father in February 1994 as a member of parliament for Bondo. Therefore, it was very easy for Oburu to be loyal to Raila, because Raila was the first one to join parliament. And remember, in 1997, when Raila formed 1996, when Raila formed NDP, and in 1997 election, most Luo MPs were defected from Ford Kenya and joined NDP. So Raila had already cemented himself as a leader in the political arena. And even Oburu was not that popular in Bondo. So the popularity of Raila Odinga is the one that propelled him to join, to be elected. And remember, even the subsequent elections in 2002 and 2007, it forced Raila Odinga to go to Bondo to intervene for Oburu to be elected by the people of Bondo. So that shows you that Oburu Odinga accepted that he cannot be the leader in the political arena. It is Raila Odinga who is the leader in the political arena. And Raila also respected the fact that Oburu is his elder. And in terms of family matters, he is the one now to take charge. But when it comes now to politics, Oburu survived at the masses, at the popularity of Raila Odinga. And look at even the election of Siaya governor in 2013, when Oburu Odinga wanted to become the governor, and Raila was vying as the president, and it brought a lot of problems, and it forced ODM to tell Oburu Odinga to step aside and to disqualify himself from that race, to enable Colonel Rasanga to become the governor of Siaya. And Oburu was given a nomination in the National Assembly, courtesy of his brother. In 2017, he was given nomination in Yala, courtesy of his brother. In 2022, he was given a direct nomination as a Siaya governor, courtesy of his brother. So he has been surviving politically, courtesy of his brother. So he knows that Raila was a politician, and he was a political leader who he could not compete, even though he was his senior in terms of age to Raila Odinga. And what caught my attention in Oburu's speech today is when he said he called Raila his age mate. And he called Raila his age mate, and then he clarified that he is older than Raila by 1 year and 3 months. For him to bring that to the public domain, to me, as a political scientist, I see that as one. He does not want the people to see him as a very old man than Raila, because of this thing that he has been given as the acting party leader of ODM. Yeah. So he wants the people to see that, oh, so you are just the same age with Raila, so you are not very old, the way we think. So that people will embrace him as the party leader of ODM, the way they embrace Raila Odinga, which I think, to me, I think will not really work, because the love people had for Raila, and not even the love, the respect people had for Raila Odinga, it is not transferable to any other person, leave alone his brother. It is not transferable, yeah, because Raila Odinga was the founder of this party, and with all the wisdom and skills and understanding of Kenyan politics, he managed to build this party for the last 20 years. Now he's no more, and you can see that the attempt to bring Oburu as the new party leader, even listening to Opiyo Wandayi, that they want to to ensure that now he's not acting but as a subsidiary party leader, I think will not really work, because these are two different individuals. And the fact that this can also be seen as hereditary, I think most people might not really be comfortable with this. And I think this is why Oburu was bringing that issue of he was just my age mate, and I'm just ahead of him with 1 year and 3 months. But in basically, he gave tribute. His tribute to his brother was very well articulated. He brought out their childhood days, which was very much okay, and the respect between them, and the support they've been giving to each other, and the way they were brought up as responsible children. I think that tribute stood out very, very much, a tribute to really a dear brother to you. So, in terms of giving tribute, I give it to him. That was one of the best that I have in that I had that in that film.
Okay, thank you so much. Before I bring in Miguda, you've spoken something about the party and even him being somebody who is going to act as the leader of ODM. And I look at our party politics, whereby the party politics usually has that personification, especially behind him, because like when you talk about the Orange Democratic Movement, actually you talk about the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Raila. And even some people do say that Raila Odinga was even powerful more than the Orange Democratic Movement, whereby they would say that Orange Democratic Movement without Raila is no political party. Do you see a situation whereby the personification or if he's going to be behind the Orange Democratic Movement will be the Senator Siaya, Honorable Oburu Odinga?
I don't really see. ODM is headed for a very difficult days ahead. And let me say, Gypsy Corner, we call Oburu the youth leader. That is sarcastic. Now, yes, you can manage that is sarcasm. And we're calling him Gen Z senator. That is we are sarcastic because of his age and how they've really tried to hold on to that. Especially, he was given a direct nomination, and he really became a senator courtesy of ODM, the influence of ODM in Siaya County. So, Brother Ben, I think ODM is headed to a very, very rough time ahead, and how they are going to manage this succession is going to speak volume, because I don't think most people are going to embrace Oburu's leadership in ODM. Remember, we had 3 deputy party leaders in ODM. And looking at them, Simbarati, Geoffrey Ososi, and Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir, looking at them, who is more influential, who can take over the leadership? And now Oburu Oginga might be acting party leader, but until when? Yeah? Because he's 82, I don't know, 83 or 82, something like about there. From 43 to now. Yeah?
Yeah.
So he is going to be acting, even if they confirm him, until when? Yeah. This is just being afraid of doing the inevitable. Can they come up with a leader who can be there for some time to stabilize the party? Obvious people are going to fall out because of the transition from the late leader to the incoming leader. There must be some fallout here and there. And if you want to build something, you should not be afraid of fallout, because fallout is inevitable. When a strong like Raila Odinga has transitioned to the next life, and now you want to build a party in having the future in mind, not having the past in mind. They're just looking at the current and who can bulldoze people to support Ruto, so that they tell them, oh, we are in the government, because Oburu was so much into this thing of broad-based government. You have him talking, even when his brother was here, he was very, very much into this broad-based thing, and that is why those who are supporting that idea, they are trying to front him so that he can continue bulldozing people that Raila alituacha hapa, here is where we are, and that is going to have counter effect, because there are some people who are not going to be comfortable with that arrangement, and they're going to ship out. Now, how are they going to manage that? And let me assure you, the 2027 election is going to be the defining moment for ODM. Yeah, because the numbers that they're going to get from the election is going to speak for on their stability and their future as a political party. Yeah. So the leadership between here and then must be very careful to ensure that even though they're going to have fallout or political realignment, they don't lose much. But if they continue fronting Oburu the way I'm seeing, I can assure you, even within Lowland, each county might go on their own. Yeah, that is my.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Barak. And that is a discussion that we are going to have, especially after the body of the Right Honorable Prime Minister would be laid down to rest in Bondo. Especially from Monday, we will go ahead and look at what is the life of ODM, especially after the the Right Honorable Prime Minister will be buried. You know, because we know, especially about how our political party works. I can see our good panelist Joseph is here with us. Joseph, how are you doing, sir?
Hello, Brother Benson. How are you? And the
Um,
panelists in large.
you're doing fine.
Yes, I'm doing fine. I had intended to come yesterday. I saw you were live and then I was caught up. I needed to come and lay my condolences to the family and the friends of the Right Honorable Prime Minister who has just left us. It's also a very dark and gloomy day for the country because the soil has taken somebody who was a mentor, father, and he was a hero to many of the people. And to add it off, he was a person who fought for democracy for the country, and he fought for the freedoms of the country. I remember him so much on fighting for the multi-party of the country and giving his life for us to stop a dictatorial trend which was coming up in the country. I also want to take this opportunity to console the family. Yes, the family had shared Raila with the masses, the Kenyan public, and now we need to take it all together as the family and also the Kenyans, because all of us we are mourning. He his story was a great statesman, and we need to give him the proper send off because there is no thank you that we can give to him. There is nobody can thank Raila Odinga enough than just saying the words. The words are the ones which can just give him the thank you. So yesterday I was to come and lay my condolences, but I got caught up, and I am together with you in this one, and everything is going on okay. We are hoping that also tomorrow people are going to give the mortal remains of the former prime minister, respect, and it's going to be it is going to be easy because it's not easy for anybody. Yeah, and I understand the mourners are not finding it easy. So when you see people coming near these areas like the parliament and everywhere, people want just to mourn. It's not. It's the pain in them. So it is the one which is making people to go and mourn. So
Okay.
I had come to lay down my condolences.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph, for your information. I'm doing this live when I'm in Kisumu, and as I speak, especially just not very far from where I am, the mourners actually are running back and forth. Actually, somewhere around Kondele area, and I could get those noises. And they say that they were not going to sleep today. Uh, um, they will be alive, like they will be not going to sleep. Watakuwa wanacheza hivyo mpaka
They holding the vigil. It's called the vigil. I think they are calling it the vigil.
vigil. Yes, thank you for that. And in the morning, especially around 2 p.m., we were at Mamboleo, or where the viewing of the body will be. And there are those who came from Nairobi, and Kakamega, all over, they said that they were going to sleep in the stadium so that they would welcome the body of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. So the life of Raila Odinga has touched so many lives in different ways, and everybody has something that they can say about Raila Amolo Odinga. What I say about Raila Amolo Odinga is not the same as what Barack might say, because he touched so many lives. And as we are waiting for the body here in Kisumu, majority of the youths were saying that, okay, we do not want to see what happened in Nairobi to happen in Kisumu. So we will be waiting, and we will be bringing you the news the way we receive them. I'm a good left. Okay. Maybe Joseph, before I bring in Barack, I don't know whether you had an opportunity to watch the speech of the brother of Raila, that is the good senator of Siaya, Oburu Odinga. Maybe something you can say that you picked from this speech that was touching for you.
Yes, thank you. I watched the whole ceremony from morning. I from when? From Thursday, Brother Benson, when I received the news. I have not even been able to work well. So even today, Friday, today, the best thing here, it's on Friday, there is no work. It's always an off day. So I'm
Okay.
trying to see if tomorrow I'll get some time so that I can also continue watching the continuation of the services, and the viewing of the body continues tomorrow. So yeah, true. Today I listened to all the speeches, and they were moving speeches, because I had the speech from Rosemary Odinga, and also had the speech from Raila Jr. And Winnie also gave a very moving speech. I listened to it. It was touching. I even found myself sobbing, because it's touching. You know why the speech of Winnie made me feel sobbing and crying is because she was together with the dad when the dad passed. So she's feeling the weight of it. She's the one who is feeling the most weight, because when you are near, that's why you see the bodyguard of the late prime minister is feeling it most, because he was there at that actual moment when the prime minister left us. So that's why I felt that speech of Winnie as that one is the one which took the highlight of the day to me, because she was the one who was. I think I wanted to hear from her, because I needed her to talk and be able to remove this thing in the burden that is in her chest, and be able to talk, because she has been quiet since she left from India. So yes, I truly had. I also had the speech from the brother of Raila, Oburu, and I also had the speech from Mama Aida when they delivered the speech. So I was there, Brother Benson. You can ask me the question. You can ask me the question.
Okay, thank you so much. We just wanted to know, what did you pick from Oburu's speech, especially even thinking the ODM for uh, giving an opportunity to serve as the party leader in acting capacity, and he promised that he will do his best to make sure that he did his job well as the acting leader of that Orange Democratic Party. Migoda, when we were having a conversation,
Brother
maybe
Benson,
you can
Brother
also
Benson,
share
can
with
I answer?
us, especially.
Brother Ben,
Yes,
can
sir.
I answer that? Can I answer that question?
Yes,
Because today also, I
yes, go
think
ahead.
what is the fear? What is the fear within ODM is a vacuum. They are afraid of a vacuum being left there. That's why we saw the
Yeah.
CS for energy, Opio Wandai,
How
said
can
that it's going to bring
how can
attack.
let me ask
Yes,
you?
yes, Brother Ben.
Let me ask you. How can Joseph?
Yes, yes, I'm here, sir.
Joseph, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. You can hear me?
How can they get this fear yet. Baba, when he was going to the AU, Anyang Nyong'o was appointed by him to the acting leader.
I think, for him going to the AU is not the same as him leaving this.
Why would you say that there was fear, yet Anyang Nyong'o was appointed by the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga to be the acting? Remember when he was going for the AU?
Yeah, can you hear me, Brother Benson? I was saying, you can hear me?
Okay.
Brother Benson?
Yeah.
All
You
right.
are clear.
Yeah. So I was saying that.
Okay. Am I clear, Mr. Miguda?
Yeah, you are clear. You are clear. Let Joseph proceed. We can hear you, Joseph.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying
Yes,
that.
they can hear you.
For him going to the AU is very different from him leaving this earth. For if he could have gone for the AU, it means even if they needed wise counsel from him, he was just an office just here in Ethiopia. So they could have left and seek the counsel. And when you become an AU chair, it does not mean that you can be in Ethiopia all the time. You can be also in the country and you can be having the wise counsel and giving it. That's why I think they gave it even to Anyang Nyong'o very easily. Then right now it's nobody anticipated for this. There is nobody. No, I don't think anybody anticipated for us hearing Raila Odinga is dead. Nobody, even me and all the other people, nobody anticipated. That's why there is a shock in the country. I think now after that shock, they saw, because now they would not be that wise counsel or him to speak on the behalf. I think they saw it's better they move with pace, because if it starts creating a vacuum within the party, that is when you start hearing other voices dissenting. That's why you are hearing the name of Babu Wino being called most of the time. I think that's why they are trying to see if they can seal the vacuum. I don't think it's all about them putting the leader there, because they still have time to do that. But I think CSOP and I, when he was talking today, he laid it bare that they want, after the burial and the service ends, they need to have a meeting for ODM and know how they are going to choose. Is going to bring a motion for Oburu to be made the party leader. I think it's in ODM we have 3 deputies. There is nowhere you will hear there is 3 deputies in a party, and there is so many leaders who are mentored
Joseph,
well.
can you please check your, I don't know, Joseph, can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear me, Brother Miguda. You can hear me.
Yeah, me, I can hear you very clearly. I think you are a bit far from your mic, but me, I can hear you very clearly. You are very clear.
Oh, you can hear me now. Sorry, you can hear me.
There's a problem on the side.
With my mic?
You are a bit far from your mic, but me, I can hear you. Maybe Benson cannot hear you from the studio, but me, I can hear from you.
Okay. Let me log out. Then I come back again.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Joseph. Maybe just log up. Okay. So I think there's a delay on Joseph's side, and there's that kind of like crack that is coming from his side. So it's going to fix that. Migoda, maybe let us just put it in general. When you look at the speeches that happened today, especially from the Odinga's family, especially the Winnie, the Raila Jr., Rosemary, what did you pick? The one that was so emotional and the one that was moving?
I just want to tell you that for some people, like me, like Ayaga told yesterday, we knew very well that one day Baba will go, but we never knew the hour. And just like I said yesterday, people have never discussed Baba's succession from 2007 election, 13, 17. But after 2022 election, there was this discussion about Kingpin will take over. So you need to know how to You need to be someone who read times. You understand? That's why we knew that at this time there must be a succession going on, but we never knew the time. We never knew, and that's why we say Baba ought not to have died. Baba was supposed to be immortal, but we don't know what happened. So it's not our mistake. When we grew up, we were told that Baba cannot die. So we were surprised when Baba died. So it's not our mistake. It's not our fault. When we were told that Baba is immortal, but he has died. So what I'm trying to say in short is that the speech of Winnie Odinga, me personally, the so-called Harry Belafonte song, me have sang it from 2013 until 2017, and I sang it until now. I get bored with it because the first time Baba introduced it on the public, we like it. We used to sing it each and every time. So to some people, this was the first time they were like, it was Baba's favorite song. So we have been telling people here, we are the Baba's people. And that's why the other time we're telling people, don't lecture us about Baba. Baba himself, even if he was like asking, he knows us very well. We have been his supporters. We have been the diehards, the so-called diehards. So we started following as early as 2007, I can say. So we have been there, loyal supporters, and even to an extent that we cannot betray Baba. So, like Winnie's speech to me, it never shocked me that much because already we had prepared that one day Baba must exit the stage. So it was good. It was a good one for the public. And the parting shot, the king is gone. Long live the crown. That's exactly what was supposed to happen. So I want to say Baba prepared the family very well. He prepared them psychologically that one day I'll live. So he has been preparing them. And that's why you saw them. They were very much confident. And let me take you back a little bit when Jaoko Oburu Odinga was speaking, the son to Oburu Odinga. What I picked from him is brave, and he's also having that accent of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. So, there are a lot of things happening there. And when Junior stood up, because he was the only man standing, he tried to demonstrate the style of Jaramogi and Baba, the cap, the fly whisk. And so to the family, I can say they tried because they were in that morning. But when we want to look at the succession, I think even them, they have let it. And Barack can confirm to you that there's nothing like being endorsed. People are deciding Baba for that Baba should endorse somebody. I can assure you, there will be no vacuum. A leader will emerge automatically, either from the family or from outside the family. That one's a fact. So there's no one has been left off here. Definitely, a leader must emerge. And you know our trends, Brother Benson. Even in our music industry, we have one king at a time. We have one king of Wangal at a time. We can't have two kings at a time. And it has been automatic from people like Osogo Winyo, Emma Jalamo came, now Prince. It's just something that will come automatic. It's what we call in our local juogi, spiritual. People will start speaking in the marketplaces. People will speak in the buses. People will be speaking in school. People will be speaking all over the places. And by that time, the leader will just emerge automatically, and the people will love that. So I just want to focus on the Oburu speech because Oburu speech look at to me. I just want to focus on the issue of ODM. ODM because Baba was the party leader of ODM, so I must talk about ODM. To me, I'm on the ground. I'm actually on the ground. I'm on the Luo Nation soil. So I understand what is happening. The reality is the only person who can unite people in that ODM is Raila Odinga. And if Raila now has demise, I can assure you, if Oburu could not control that crowd at Kasarani, Oburu cannot come to the constituency and carry your hand and people just love you automatically. So the point is, the people who are proposing Oburu and also forcing people that Oburu, and I've heard people speaking, people have said, Baba never said that, Baba said that, okay, we are in broad-based government, but in 2027, we will sit down and have a structured conversation. But Opio and I has gone ahead and said, we are here post 2027. I'm not dismissing that statement, but the point is, there are people who cannot be subjected to be ODM by force by fire. And there are people who will just decide to have a good rapport with the Wananchi and also have a good structured campaign model, and they will be elected governors and senators. So we can say, this is what people are saying. Let me tell you. Let me bring it in the public domain. People are saying, we have no problem with being in government. We are in government. We have no problem with being in government post 2027. We are there. But the point is, let no one come and lecture people on who to elect, that they will appoint for leaders. So I can say, in that capacity, putting Oburu Odinga as the leader of ODM, that one you are doing injustice to that party. Because look at the young, vibrant coming. Look at them. You cannot subject them that this is a leader. You are elected for them. And Opio and I went out and said, let next sit as soon as possible and confirm Oburu as the party leader. There's a problem. Look at the comments. Look at what people are saying. So there's a problem there. That one we must agree. So I can just say, in general, in terms of the speech, we can't conclude that there is going to be an automatic heir from the family, or the leader has been shown. What I can just say, from the customs and the traditions, elders will sit down and they will say, Raila left us in government. Let us stick here. But as for the leader of the Luo nation and as the leader of the future people, that one will just emerge automatically. It will not be forced on the people.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda, for that. And let me bring in Joseph, because I think let me just do it this way. Joseph, I think at some point you saw the connection, especially the reception that President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta received when he was talking about the Right Honorable Prime Minister saying and expressing their friendship. And even if you go to the comment section, you would agree with me that it seems that Uhuru was the man of the moment. He was like the father of the nation at that point. And it also reveals how close these two brothers were. Do you agree with me on that?
I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now I'm audible, yeah? I'm
Yes.
audible now.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the mic problem. I wanted to also go, before I answer the question you have said, I wanted to go back to what Brother Miguda is saying, and say it's true what Brother Miguda is saying, because I don't know the history well. You will help me a bit, but I knew that when Raila was coming up to become the Luo kingpin, there was also a heated. They were also heated. They were racing with other people. I remember Orengo was there, or maybe you might correct me. But in the history, I've heard that Raila and Orengo and other people, they were also fighting for the kingship of the Luo nation. But Raila stood firm, and I think he got. That is the history I had from some quarters. So I don't know if it is true, but if that is to go by, I think you becoming the kingpin of the Luo nation, it does not make you that you're going to be given to be handed over as easy as the people are thinking. So I think what will really happen is the people who in kingship is not even in Luo nation alone.
kinship, if you have a kinship kind of system, it happens with the people loving you. It's amongst the people who love you. If they love you, is when they are going to make you the king. It's not even in Luo nation. It happened in Kikuyu nation. Kikuyu nation, Kibaki was not in support of Uhuru. I don't think Kibaki was supporting Uhuru in 2013. But the people came and they agreed that we want Uhuru to be the king of the mountain in 2013. So is when people like you, is when they are, and they love you, is when they are going, and that's why you can see it's been reciprocated also in the service and the mourning of the Right Honorable, because the people loved him. They were not forced on him. So I think this one for Opiyo Wandayi Rashin, I think, and one thing that I'm afraid is that ODM might start now having segregation between the counties, because if it starts there now, it is going to break. If you hear that other counties are saying, no, we need this as a leader, the other county this as our leader, that is where the fraction comes. So I think they need also to give time for the barrier of the Right Honorable to happen. We put him in we send him off well. Then they can start after 1-2 weeks. They can start now thinking about these things. Also, it's very early. It does not augur well with Opiyo Wandayi removing that kind of statement after even when we have not even buried the Right Honorable Prime Minister. It is not even looking well on the side. But I don't know. I don't know well about the kingship side of Luo Nation. Maybe we are going to see what will turn out. I'm just giving some analysis from what I've heard from the quarters. But I'll now come and answer you about today's what really happened in the stadium, Nyayo Stadium, and about why Uhuru received that special reception. I think why Uhuru received that reception is it started with the bishop. You remember the bishop who gave a speech?
Mhm.
There is a bishop who gave a speech. And if you want to know, Kenyans are very attentive. Just listen to when the bishop, when he was touching the main points, is when you could hear people even shouting. Like when the pastor talked about the bishop, when he talked about corruption, you could really tell that corruption is really disturbing our country, because people, I think that one was even the last area that he touched when he's saying that people in higher office are corrupt, and they are dealing with so many things. They are stealing money left, right, and center. I think that is how it touches the people. So I think what happened really with the Uhuru speech is because people, have been given that perception that Uhuru is not working with Ruto, and Uhuru never even is supporting this government. So what happened? Also, Uhuru has stayed a long time without talking to the public. That voice also. When you stay without a voice. Tumekuwa na Uhuru 10 years, Brother Benson. We have continuously heard that voice. So I think when people heard that voice, he has been silent. So when people heard that voice also, it also changed. Na Uhuru hata si kwa speech, if you knew, if ungetaka kujua ange-receive your reception, you could have started by when he arrived. When he arrived, they received him. When they were hearing the name Uhuru, they were receiving him in such a kind of way. And then also, how Uhuru and Raila, they were perceived. They were like brothers. Even I think the last before we left 2022 election, Uhuru still said that Raila is still my presidential candidate. I think he said something like that when he was in Kisumu. Alisema mimi baba bado ni yeye nini. And I think people could relate Uhuru working with Raila more of brotherly, like with Ruto, because Ruto, they have just started working together of late. Hata ijamaliza miaka mbili. It's about now to finish, maybe 2 years now, 1 year and a half, let's say. So they can picture but I know one thing, when the Luo community love you, brother, even if you do what, they will continue loving you. So I think it has kind of that one, the brother you love. Hata ukimwona akienda kule kwa Mama Aida, you see the kind of brotherly love. You know, these people, they have been together from even when they were families wakiwa wadogo. Because if you see, they were the first families from pale juu, the president and the Odinga, the vice president. So people correlate this ones as, unajua mpaka waliitwa wote wawili they were dynasty. You remember them being called dynasties. So
Yes.
they correlate these things together like brothers. So I think people always view that one, and also the sound. Unajua pia Uhuru vile akiongea unasikia there is presidential something. So I think that is all about that. Si ati ilikuwa mambo na siasa nyingi, haikuwa mambo na siasa. Watu ndio walitaka kuchukua kisiasa. It's just that people had missed Uhuru. Then unajua Uhuru anakuwaga na jokes twingi sana. Okay, sasa kuja uongee kuhusu ati mlikuwa mnakunywa sijui uji and chai, you know, that kind of joke in that atmosphere mpya. Also the atmosphere of you saying that Baba will be in heaven, watakuwa kiweza kuongea na Nyerere and the other presidents, and then hata mimi naona kama nitakuwa the next one, hata mimi ningekuwa ninataka kuwafuata, lakini I think that is what he said. Karibu hata mimi niko nini. So maybe, you know, people are seeing because Uhuru is his age is also catching up. I think that is what the correlation is all about. Si mambo mingi na siasa. I think even siasa iko kwa akili ya nini when they were talking. And then also, you know Uhuru says it as it is. Mtu akianza kuzeeka anasema things as it is. And that's why you heard Mama Ida say Raila did not like lies. And it is true. Hataki uongo. When you reach a certain age, Brother Benson, hata ukifikisha miaka ya huko 6, kuna haja ya kuongea uongo. Unaongea uongo ya nini sasa? What else have you lived for? Umebakisha tu kuishi maisha mzuri na keep peace na Mungu alafu uende mbinguni. So I think that's what is it. I think people are happy with Uhuru. He was talking the truth because hata ukiangalia akisema mimi siasa ni upuzi. I think you had that conversation akisema ati maybe they are thinking as talking. Na alikuwa anasema sasa maybe Oginga Odinga na Jomo na Nyerere walikiongea ati walikuwa wanasema kona tu siasa za upuzi tu. I think he has reached a level he does not care now about anything. He talk what is in his mind. So I think that is just that. Haikuwa siasa. People might take it as siasa, but I don't think. But you know, everything will have a repercussion with siasa in Kenya. Everything must be taken kama siasa.
But, okay, thank you so much. But that's something that we also have to agree, especially when it comes to this one person that always have a soft spot for people. I don't know the way he interact with people, or he's just something that he has, that when he interacts with the public, there's that free connectivity, the organic connectivity that happens between him and the public. Maybe Barack, you as a person, you as an analyst, you can look at what happened between Uhuru Kenyatta and the public at the prayers today at Nyayo. What can you conclude about that, especially what happened in the public?
Thank you, Brother Ben. And before I respond to that, let me just there's a question that Gypsy Kona asked me
Okay.
about Junior and Winnie and ODM, and I just want to say that in the family of Raila Odinga, I think Winnie is the one who is standing out to be a politician. Junior even tried to impress the crowd, but I think she was having a lot of trust struggles. So maybe Winnie Odinga can try and become a politician in Kenya. Atoke kule Yala kuja simame hapa tuone kama atachaguliwa, then from there maybe anaweza kuonekana ni kama anaweza beba hiyo msalaba, anaweza jaribu kubeba msalaba, kwa sababu politics is within their family, is within their blood, and I think they cannot just let it go like that. They have to try and safeguard the legacy the rich legacy is they okay, even though they cannot match where Mzee has reached, but they can try at least kukuwe na an elected member of parliament the here within the family, isikuwe kama ile ya Moi, you know, ile ya Moi sasa sahizi inaendeka kwa neema, because even being elected hakuna mtu amechaguliwa kwa hiyo familia. So you know, Uhuru Kenyatta, just back to your question, Uhuru Kenyatta was as a person, leave alone as a president, as a person, it is said by those who are close to him that he was a man of the people. If you read that book, A Man of the People, alikuwa mtu wa watu. And kuna wale walikuwa nasema ya kwamba usiku he used to visit these joints and he could spoil people. Akipata mmejaa hapa, nasema wale wako hapa wote bill ni kwangu, ili mlipe ile mlikuwa mmeitisha, after hapo sasa ni mimi ndio boss. Then natoka hapa naenda kwingine. So that alone, that interaction with the people, and you know, watu wanakunywanga uji, wako na urafiki sana, sio kama sisi watu wa chai. So watu ambao wamezoea kunywa uji pamoja, they have a strong bond that brings them together. And that is why even if you go to if you don't have money na uende kwa joint ya uji pawa, hautakosa mtu akushare na yeye uji yake, kwa sababu they say that hapa utatoka hapa kama umeshiba uji, lakini vile utakula ni juu yako. So that has made him become a man of the people. And remember even how he was addressing people, you know during Corona fellow Kenyans, during Corona time, anaongea ni kama he really empathized with the people's situation. And you know, leadership also requires empathy. You as a leader, you empathize with the people, especially because, you know, in the society we have people who are really struggling, people who are going through very difficult situations. And when as a leader, they know that you really empathize with them, they feel very, very close to you. And that bond is not breakable. We break si rahisi. And that is why you find that people still identify themselves with the Uhuru. And let me give an example. You know, ule mzee ambaye aliretire kwa anaitwa President Daniel Moi. You know, yeah. Moi said that he was a very, very kind man. And even though he had his own flaws as a leader, but in terms of the bond with the common mwananchi, it was very strong, yeah. And the only president who did not have a strong bond with the citizen is President Kibaki, because he alikuwa kwa klasi yake na yeye hakuwa na time na hizi mambo ya socialization with the poor, with the common man. So he had his own focus. Walikuwa nasema mtu mchoyo, but Uhuru ni mtu ambaye mtu ambaye anatoboka kwa lugha ya mtaa, na mtu ambaye anatoboka lazima kuwe mtu wa watu. So I was not surprised by the reception that he received. And I don't know if you know that, I don't know if you remember that, you know, people also have their own stature. And it's like when you saw Raila Odinga with William Ruto in addressing a public event, you could be mistaken that Raila is the president. Yeah. And even right now, if you see, because of the stature, even right now, if you see Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto looks like our deputy president, because ile image ambayo watu wako nayo ati Uhuru ni president, Uhuru ni deputy, Uhuru haijatoka, because the stature of Uhuru is so senior compared to that of William Ruto. So William Ruto also have to build his stature due to a point that iweze compare na Uhuru Kenyatta, because Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto right now, right, is gone. You could see Ruto looks like a junior to this gentleman. That's why Sailo unaona Sailo unaona, I don't know if you remember that clip Ruto akitembeza Uhuru State House.
Yes.
Ulikuwa unaona Ruto is like he feel intimidated akiwa na Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't know if you've ever seen that. He feels so intimidated akiwa next to Uhuru Kenyatta. I think bado ile tu mind yake inamwambia this is my boss, this is the president, I'm the deputy. So that kind of feeling.
Do you think
what? Pardon?
Do you think, Barack, do you think what you are saying, I think it is true, maybe to refresh my question, I think it is true, because when Uhuru Kenyatta makes a statement, you will see how especially those who are allied to the president, they will go on a panic mode and they will come out guns blazing and attack Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and the president will just be, he will not even utter even a word after speaking one word.
Because of his stature. You know, if you are a leader, you know your stature and you know whom to respond to. And I think I will be really disappointed to see Uhuru starting to respond to people like Sudi, Sijui, Murukomen, Sijui Duale. You know, if you know your stature, you know whom to respond to. Eh? And I think if Ruto and Uhuru right now, they are at the same level, even though Uhuru has a bigger stature, because Uhuru was a retired president, Uhuru is the current president. So, lakini hao wengine jamani, hawa wachia akina nani, nani, akina Kioni wajibishane nao, akina Ngujiri wa Mbogu, akina sijui nani. Those are the people who are at the same level. When you are at the level of a retired president, you know you are a statesman. Mtu ambaye unatumwa kule kwenda kuleta amani kule DRC, unaenda kusupervise election kule Nigeria, surely utaanza kushindana na kina Sudi hapa Kenya, people who cannot even have a say beyond their constituency. Yeah, so I think hapo Uhuru is behaving like a statesman, someone of a stature of a retired president, where these people, even though they will say anything, call out your name for a week, where you don't even care to respond to them, because once you start responding to them, you are bringing yourself down at their level, and that is a mistake that I don't think Uhuru can do. With all the experience that he has politically, with all the advisors that he has around him, I don't think he can bring himself down to the level of answering people like Murukomen, people like I don't know who is this person, Duale. Wacha Duale wapambane na kina Kibagendi kule kwa nini. That is the people who are at their level. And let me just say something. You know, Joseph talked about the history of kinship, and let me try to speak about this one, because alisema vizuri sana, you know, kinship is not something that comes easily. And let me just give an example of how Raila became the Luo leader. Raila did not even tell the Luos that now I am your leader. Raila was, hakuna hata mkutano iliwekwa, people agreed that Raila is going to be our leader. It was a journey that Raila took, and he had his own challenges. Yeah, remember Jaramogi died in 1994 when he was the leader of Ford Kenya, and Michael Kijana Wamalwa was the vice lead. Those days we had chairman and vice chairman, unlike this the way we had party leaders. And on those days, the chairman was the leader of the party. So Kijana Wamalwa was the vice. So Raila Odinga, feeling entitled because his father was the chairman of Ford Kenya, he decided to wrestle the leadership of Ford Kenya from Michael Kijana Wamalwa. And it was a very big battle between the supporters of Kijana Wamalwa and the supporters of Raila Odinga. And you can watch that on YouTube, Kule Thika. It was being even mediated by an Anglican bishop who was now bringing these two functions together. Na walipigana, and Raila was defeated in Ford Kenya. Na akaamua kuachana na mambo ya Ford Kenya. He resigned as a member of parliament of Lang'ata as a member in Ford Kenya in 1996, and he formed his own political party, NDP, and he vied on that party, and he was elected, and he joined parliament again on his own political party. Now, in 1997 election, most Luo members of parliament resigned from Ford Kenya and joined NDP, except James Orengo, who vied in the same Ford Kenya in Ugenya, and he won. And there's a member of parliament from Game also vied in Ford Kenya. He was called Joe Donde in 1997. So in Ugenya constituency and also Game constituency, NDP did not have those members of parliament, but most Luo members of parliament were elected under NDP. So there was some kind of struggle, especially when Raila joined Moi between 1997 and 2002. So when Raila joined Moi and it was made a minister for energy in 2001, and he became very popular and among the Luo nation, and Orengo was in the opposition. Yeah. And he was leading some maandamano here and there in Kamkunji, and sometimes he was even beaten by police, and they broke his hand. And those time, he was being supported by mostly university students. Now, when Raila, after the merger in 2002, and Moi settling on Uhuru as the successor, when Raila led a walkout from KANU and joined forces with the opposition, and said Kibaki tosha, Orengo withdrew from the supporting Kibaki, and he went alone on SDP, and he said, we cannot support another Kikuyu president. We must stop this nonsense. And Orengo vied as an SDP presidential candidate. And remember those days, you had to win as a member of parliament, and we were vying as a member of parliament at the same time vying as a presidential candidate. So Orengo lost not only the presidency, but as a member of parliament in 2002, courtesy of the influence of Raila. And remember, in 1997, even Professor Nyongo, who refused to vie in NDP, lost in Kisumu Rural. And he was nominated by SDP, by then party, as a nominated member of parliament in parliament. So Professor Nyongo was not supporting Raila in 1997. James Orengo was not supporting Raila in 1997. So they went separate ways. So in 2002, when Orengo lost his parliamentary seat to Bishop Ondiek, and now NAC formed the government, and remember Nyongo joined parliament not under Raila's party. So when they started having issues, Nyongo jumped quickly to Raila's side, na akatoka pande ya Kibaki, because he knew that he had lost election for opposing Raila Odinga. So when Orengo also lost in 2002, and referendum of 2005 came, all of them came and joined forces with the Raila Odinga. And since then, they have never gone against Raila Odinga, because they accepted that this kingship issue of Luoland, we have agreed Raila Odinga na amependwa. And then since 2005 referendum, Raila has always been dominating the Luo politics. That is why I'm also supporting what Migud and Joseph is saying. Kingship, you cannot impose yourself on people. Ati mimi sasa ndio kiongozi wenyu. Ati mimi sasa nitachukua kutoka kwa baba. That is not how kingship works. Leadership is a journey. Remember, Raila started in 1996, and he became the de facto leader in 2005. Let me just say in 2002 election. So it was a journey of more than 5 years. So you cannot bulldoze people to follow you because you want to bleed them. Leadership is something, this is like a talent. And leaders just emerges, and once you emerge and people read you and people understand your leadership style, people will just start following you, yeah. And you will not even tell them that I am your leader. People, there is no day that Raila has ever told the Luo people that Mimi ndio kingpin wenyu. People just call him that. There is no day, yeah, that Luo sat somewhere and decided that Raila is going to be our kingpin. No, it was just organic. Yeah, that's why I'm really disappointed with these people who are now masquerading as kingpins. Yeah, they're saying that now I'm ready to take over from Baba. Baba took over from who? Yeah, alichukua kutoka kwa nani? It was just organic. So even someone who will take over from him will just be organic. Yeah, and it's a journey. Na usifikia ati utapingwa, people will oppose you. People will even fight you. Yeah, and if you are not strong enough, unaanza kulialia leo ati sijui they want to beat me up. So I don't know. My friend, leadership is not taken on a silver platter. Even Raila Odinga did not take it on a silver platter.
Barak,
Yes.
we saw the Honorable Babu Owino was updating in his status, especially that there are people who are planning to attack him. You know, the people who have organized for some goons to attack him during the burial or before, especially maybe in Kisumu or Bondo. Do you think that could be true?
You know, there's a professor called Professor Peter Kagwanja that I really like listening to him, and I think he's of to hogwash.
Yeah.
You know, if you are a leader, leadership and also kingship, you can bring not only your community together, but you can also reach out to other community, because if you are not just leading people from your side. So these are the kind of propaganda or or name it, I don't know how to call it, that is not helpful to building a leader. Leadership is built through resilience. Leadership is built through love for the people. Sio tu watu tu wanakupenda, pia wewe unapenda hao watu, and you can sacrifice for them. The way Raila, Raila, if you look at his life, watu hawakumpenda tu hivi. Watu kwanza waliona huyu jamaa anatupenda, sacrifice maisha kufanya hivi, amefanya hivi. So it's not about tunakupenda aje, wewe unatupenda aje, tumeonaje wewe unatupenda. Unaona, what can you do apart from being young or old to prove that you can serve the people, you can lead the people? Yeah. And this leadership of whipping emotions and looking for sympathy so that you can believe, it is not sustainable. Yeah. Organic leadership is what is sustainable. When people just love you out of naturally. So not because you've manipulated emotionally, not because you've played victim, that is not sustainable. How long will you play victim? How long will you whip people's emotions to love you? Yeah? I know my brother Miguda here is one of the diehard supporters of Baba Owino. But surely, let us be true to ourselves. You cannot lead people by whipping them emotionally. You cannot lead people by always playing victim, and pointing finger at others. If you are meant to be, you will be, but it will just be organic. And let me tell you, nobody's going to allow Baba Owino to lead the Luo people just like that. And if he's not willing to fight for it, then he should forget about it. Even Raila Odinga, he fought for it. Yeah, Orengo came into parliament before Raila Odinga. So Orengo was feeling senior to Raila Odinga because alikuwa member of parliament of 4DM, or not of, alikuwa member of parliament before Raila Odinga joined parliament. So for him alikuwa naona huyu mtu amekuja hapa jana ananiambia nini. The same way people are telling Baba Owino, wewe umetupata ODM, wewe umekuja hapa juzi 2017. What do you know? We built this party through blood and sweat. From 2005. Yeah, we have been tear gas, we have been beaten. Some of us haven't been spent some nights in police cells. So you cannot just come and expect that people will just leave you to take over just like that without a fight. People will fight you. So the strongest person who will persevere the struggle, the strongest person who will show vision, someone who will show clarity of leadership, clarity of purpose, that is a person who, leave alone these people who are running here and there, making declarations that are neither here nor there. People who are making declarations that cannot even hold water. Yeah. People who are, ODM right now is in a state of confusion. And that's why you will hear Wandai is running to Bondo to whip the emotion of the people of Bondo. They're trying to prepare. Another person is in Kisumu trying to do whatever they are doing. Babu is in Nairobi trying to blog and tell his bloggers to whip people's emotion. These people are in a state of confusion. And until this dust settles, these parties are going to wrestle each other. They're going to fight each other. Others are going to fall out of the party. Even Sifuna. Sifuna, atujamaliza kuomboleza. This neck decision was made in his absence, akiwa India. And he's the Secretary General. I don't know how NEC met without the SG. And they came up with a decision that now they're making Oburu as the active. The SG in attendance. I don't know how these people are behaving. So these people are going to fall out. But someone who is going to persevere and show people vision, clarity, leadership, mature leadership. That is the one who is going to stand firm. And even if people are not going to follow him in 2017, in 2032, I can assure you, by then, kutakuwa sasa tumekuwa na some clarity on who to follow. But as for now, let us be ready for confusion, wrestling, and drama in this party until maybe 2027. Because in 2027, bado pia Ruto anaenda kukuwa na ka group kake pale ndani ambao wanaimba broad based mpaka 2027. So drama is coming. Yeah, drama is coming, and let us just take some popcorns and watch the drama.
Okay, thank you so much. There are two issues that I want you to. Yes.
Leo Barak ameenda beast mode. I really like that. He has said everything that is needed to be said. There is nothing that can be said further from that. He has clarified everything that is needed to be said. kwa sababu in terms of this fighting that is in there, it has not even begun. You know, people are running and running. It will happen after the elections.
From
Not
Sunday.
even after the barrio. It will happen after. Even not at that time. After 2-3 days is when you'll see now the real thing. But I wanted to add something only small
Okay.
about Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, and why we see he's the bigger boss and Ruto is still like his shadow, is because you know, brother, William Ruto, when he has been the president, they have tried to fight this guy who and tried to do him all those bad kind of things. So people have been seeing this. People are not stupid. People nowadays, they are very clever. And I think they have seen, they saw even how Uhuru was done, how his ship was taken, how they did everything they did. So people still have that kind of wanamsikilia pole kidogo. Unaona? They still feel that pole for him because he was passing through all this, because there was some, you know, people forget very fast. We had some demonstration because of the election by Ruto, and that is the time they really banned. Sijui kama watu wanakumbuka mpaka nini ya Raila iliingiwa his work inspector.
In the industrial
Yeah,
area.
they went and then they were trying to forcefully enter. So this bond between Raila and Uhuru, it's much deeper than even mambo na hii ya Ruto. Unajua hii ya Ruto, it just came and then they talked and then they started bringing people to people in the on the fold. Wakaanza kuwa. And I think the problem is there is a faction that the president is trying to bring out of ODM. Anajaribu, hata I see like they are being pushed by the president. Wajaribu kuwa hapo like the people like I think Oburu is being pushed na hawa watu wako kwa the team that inasema iko broad base. Unaona ile team iko pale, wale ma ministers, it's like they are trying to push that. They have been told by Ruto to try and push that, because Ruto also is afraid of a fallout of these leaders ataweza kuwaleta aje pamoja, you know. He's also afraid. That's why I liked what Barack came and said here, because there is nothing that is further from the truth. But for Babu needs to first find himself. He cannot become just a leader like that. Hawezi kuwa ulitoka tu university, now you became an MP, then you want to come and lead a whole community. No, it does not go like that. Even if people are going to be with you, it always takes some experience. Lazima ukuwe na experience, brother Benson. Raila also, you have heard what Barack has told you. The Right Honorable Raila took from what he has told you from 1995 to almost 2002, so that he could be able even to gather. And that time even he did not become something big. He just became a minister of roads. So from 2005 is when he really discovered that. And from 2005, you can see the journey of Raila Odinga. From 2005, 2007, 2013, 2017, 2022, you can clearly see it is a person from 1995 to 2005. Those are how many years, brother Benson? It's almost 10 years.
10 years.
It's almost 10 years. It took 10 years to rediscover himself, that even he can be able, you know the real biggest contest that Raila really had, it is in 2005, because the contest was him alone fighting the government at play at that time. He was fighting the Katiba. You remember the Katiba changed to ya Mandizi na Chungwa. That is the real time he really discovered that I kweli ninasemaga I have the strength, but I have seen now I have it. So that's why even it was dislocated in 2007, because you saw the masses coming and voting. And already kuna haja tushie tukidanganyana hapa. You know who won the election in 2007? And what really happened, Raila grew in confidence. Lazima grow in confidence. Hawezi akuja tu umesema, hata kama unapatia hiyo kingship hata huyo Uhuru aliwekewa hiyo kingship. Unajua watu ndio waliitisha Uhuru wakasema tunataka Uhuru tumwekee kingship. Yeye amekaa kwa siasa for how long? Imagine from 2002 to 2013 is when they came to make you sijui ya kingship of a certain region. So what Barak is saying is the true, as Babu needs to rediscover himself. That is what I'm going to say about Babu. But it's too very early for him also. Kwanza akuwe na experience kidogo. I think that is why Raila was trying to be hard on him so much. Alikuwa ni kama mlikuwa mwa ni kama akona ungumu kwake, si ungumu alikuwa nayo kwake. He wanted him to become with the experience.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And because like it's almost getting tomorrow, we'll have to meet somewhere with some other journalists in the morning. Actually, the morning at around 4, because like I had something, a loud bang. I don't know whether it was like as the crowd was being dispersed. I don't know, but like I had it once because I told you where I am at. Or where we are at, it's just like you could hear the commotion around the Kondele Junction. We are somewhere around that area. Now, I want us to take a few minutes and at least to get your views, especially on two things that happened. Especially, Kalonzo has been with the Right Honorable Prime Minister for quite a long time, and it was I did not see him given an opportunity to speak or to say a word about Raila. That was something that also I observed. Maybe you will have to weigh your thoughts on that. And something also that I want you to weigh your thoughts on is about the issue of Rigathi Gachagua. You know, we saw like all the opposition leaders were present, but Rigathi Gachagua was missing in action. So, and it was something that people were saying this was a moment for, it was like a brief moment of reconciliation, especially for political class. Why was he missing? Let me start with you, Miguda, to be brief about those two questions, especially Kalonzo not given an opportunity to speak about the Right Honorable Prime Minister, whom he has supported for almost 15 years. And we also saw the absence of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua.
Okay, thank you. Because of time, I will not talk about Kalonzo. I'll just focus on Rigathi Gachagua, but I want to use my other time to talk about what Baraka said. It's very important for me to respond because, you know, he has called my good friend and, you know, that is very good. Barak, I've also come to reality. You know, he's my friend, you know that one. He is, we were with him there at campus. And actually, at some point, I told him, Babu, don't go with ODM. And I think where he is, reality has dawned on him. Because let me tell you one thing. Even me, I'm a bit intelligent. I know what's happening. And actually, the future leader is known. And even you know that future. We don't want to discuss him. We don't want to discuss that future leader. I don't want to talk in terms of sex. We don't want to discuss that leader. But that leader will emerge. We know the leader. But the point is, what I want to say, the leader need to work hard. That's true. Because the leader has got everything to be a leader. This is why I'm saying like that is because me personally, I loved Baba. And from the East is known very well. Those people who have schooled with me, they knew me, identify myself with Baba. I know what I was feeling. I know that feeling. It's natural. The so-called spirit. It's there with me. And the reason why I'm saying we have identified the leader, but it is also important not to discuss the leader right now, is because the kind of love I have for Baba, or I have felt for Baba, I've never felt for my good friend, the good friend of mine. That one is not. And also, when Baba died, I was on the ground meeting locals. I was doing my own interview. You know, Baba's love to me, it was natural. And that's why in my autobiography, it's very clear. Baba is my hero. No one can erase it. It is there even in my social media handle. From 2015, I wrote it, my hero, Raila Amolo Odinga. So, my good friend, I've realized something's wrong somewhere. Because my good friend not that Baba had beef with him. Baba already knew the next leader, and Baba just allowed my good friend to have his space so that there will be no commotion that Baba this, Baba that. So we know the end game where the good friend will end. But he's a friend. We still is one of us. But the reality is, and even me, I know the next leader. So what I want to say about the next leader is there's a little things she need to do. Very little. Because people loved Baba. And when I say people loved Baba, I know what I'm saying. It was genuine, authentic. You need people, if you can identify yourself as someone who really was the rightful apparent to the king, I know my Luo people, they will embrace you and they will identify you because, I want to cite two examples. Do you know why up to date, even me, I was born yesterday, but I'm a diehard of Gor Mahia. I never saw Gor Mahia. But what is there is that the love for Gor Mahia, it comes natural, automatic, because there was a legend by the name Gor Mahia. And I think my children will be Gor Mahia fans by default. So the culture of it is that the love we had for Baba, it can transcend to someone. And people have already started making some notes somewhere. We have seen where the notes are being kept. So I'm also aware. That's why I told you that I'm not that stupid. I know my good friend is not the next king. That's why I was telling you that the next thing will emerge. So I was just trying to be, but understand, because in our culture, when someone is dead, even if you bring any bad thing concerning that person, they will not take them seriously because he is good even in his grave, like Baba. Baba cannot make any mistake even in the next 100 years in the local community. So anybody who will be identified by the local community to be the preference of Baba in the so-called spirit, that's the next leader. So Joseph, I know the next leader, and somewhere we'll discuss it with you when we are two of us. So I want to talk about this issue of regarding Gachagua. We are just waiting for the right time
Yes,
to
brother,
come. But
I need you to discuss with me because you need to tell
yeah,
me.
we will have some discussion side with you, not in public. So the issue of regarding Gachagua. The next, don't worry about people. People are obsessed about. Let me say two things. Then I'm give you the floor. People are obsessed about this issue of Oburu Odinga being the party leader. No, the people who have put Oburu there are the people who are making noise today. One day, and the other one, we don't want to call their names, but the one who has spoke, we can call the name. One day and the teams, the broad-based people are the one putting one day Oburu, so that they can push the agenda towards 2020. But the reality is not in the land today. The leader was seen today. Let me tell you, the leader was seen today. The leader is there, but not 2027, not 2026. The leader will just emerge that right time. That's why we are saying we are well to go. Baba's left. Baba's left a leader, so don't worry. The leader is there. So what I want to say, regarding Gachagua failing to come to Raila, I don't have a problem with him not even coming to Nyayo. But I want to acknowledge that Gachagua, he conveyed the condolence, and it was in the public domain. He conveyed the condolence. That's a good start. But I will advise Gachagua, if I could be close to him, that he ought to have sneaked in parliament, because parliament is the safest place in this country. And parliament, no one could even if there were no supporters. So he could have just sneaked in parliament, then pay his last respect, then move back to Wamunyoro or current residence, but he doesn't need to come to Nyayo, because you understand right now the political tension between the opposition and the the Raila people. And when you see people embracing Uhuru, no, the Gachagua is opposite. Because Gachagua, before Raila died, Raila died mysteriously, and also there were some statements which were made. Not that Gachagua, let me tell you one thing, not that Gachagua knew Raila was going to die. No, it was just a political statement. But because of coincidence, there's something that can happen coincidentally. I can say, okay, tomorrow I want to meet Barack, but we end up meeting somewhere, not even in the coffee place. So it happened coincidentally, and that's why Farouk said kuna jambo imefanyika kibaya hapa na kuna watu walikuwa wanaomba ifanyike but wamefurahi. So but what I can say, that association of political statement was not friendly for Gachagua to go to Nyayo, and we know our supporters, but not that Gachagua had anything to do with the Raila's death. So what I was saying, it was proper for him as a leader of DCP or as a former deputy president to sneak into parliament and salute Raila, last respect, to show that it is just about politics, no personality, no enmity, nothing. It's just about politics, but we can embrace each other. I think that's my statement.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Guda, for that. And something that I would also say, especially for those who are aspiring or those who have the will to lead or to take the mantle from Raila Amolo Odinga, especially to lead the community. We had an opportunity from yesterday to speak with quite a number of elders, and if you could even see the first interview that we had the Luoker and all the elders we were at Ofafa Memorial at some point. Then we've been having some conversation, at the moment, they don't even talk about who is going to inherit, but they're talking about on how to give the Right Honorable Prime Minister a befitting send-off. So that is something that is also, especially when you're working on the ground, say that. I'd say that very brief. I want then I will invite Joseph to say his last word, especially when he's commenting on the Rigathi Gachagua and Kalonzo Musyoka. Maybe to you, Barack, what would you say about the absence of Rigathi Gachagua and also Kalonzo Musyoka? Even Martha Karua were not given an opportunity to say anything about Raila, knowing very well that Martha Karua was the running mate of Raila Amolo Odinga, and Kalonzo has always been almost like 3 times with Raila in the ballot.
Well, thank you, Brother Ben. I think when Rigathi Gachagua missing in at Nyayo Stadium, it's okay for that because of what has been going on in the public domain. But what I'm not what I think he missed the opportunity is he has not even gone to visit the family in Karen, because I think in Karen there is no state. It's not a state function to go to Karen, and we've seen so many people going to Karen even before today. So Gachagua has not visited the family, and he did not show up in the state function today, state funeral. And obviously, I know he cannot go to Bondo tomorrow. So that means he has decided to stay away completely from that, from Raila's funeral. And writing a message on social media alone, I think, and you are in this country, I don't think is anything to comment, because you see Kalonzo Musyoka had to cut short his trip to the UK to return back home just because Raila died, so that he can join the family and the nation in mourning. So I think if Rigathi Gachagua was afraid of going to Nyayo Stadium because of say maybe being heckled or being done anything by the opposition, by the supporters of Raila, I think he could have just sneaked into Karen and just paid a courtesy call to the family, because the leader has been there the whole of Wednesday, and even we see that and I know Gachagua is someone who is very senior. He's a senior leader in this country in terms of the political capacity. His political capacity has grown ever since he was impeached, and he has a lot of support. So that makes him. I don't think if he goes to Karen, he can be denied access. And even Raila was in parliament very early in the morning. And when his colleagues went there, the likes of Matiang'i, Muturi, Matakarua, I think he could have just gone with them just to pay his respect to that. That alone could have spoke volume as a leader who is eyeing to be a national leader. But I think he missed that opportunity. And I don't think it's going to go well with the people who are let me say people who are neutral. You know, in Kenya we have people who are extreme and we have people who are neutral. And these people who are neutral are normally the majority, even people who decide to stay away from voting. So I think he missed that opportunity to reconcile with the reality, because you know he made some comments when Raila was in India, but those were just by the way. I don't think there was anything meaningful on those comments that could have caused any harm to anybody. And we know that Raila has been having health challenges of late, and those who know him and those who have been following him very closely, they knew that his days were not many in this world. How he has been walking, and even if you look at his face changed so drastically, showing that he was having some issues. So I think it was just his time, and it's trying to blame anybody for his death. It's not being realistic. I think that's being naive. And on the issue of Kalonzo and the opposition, I think it was lack of wisdom not to allow Kalonzo to speak. You know, they just to allow Kalonzo to represent the opposition. And you know, that is where now another thing Uhuru was very good at. You know, breaking protocol, because you know when Kindiki did not call Kalonzo to speak, I don't think it could have. I think President Ruto could have earned a lot of respect from people by just breaking protocol and inviting Kalonzo to speak for 2 minutes, and so that he can continue with his speech. But you know, I think that's his lack of wisdom. Who did that many times when Raila was in attendance of this event? He could break protocol and invite Raila, and Raila could invite even Mudavadi, and they were all in opposition. So this is lack of wisdom and lack of maturity in our leadership. Because remember, the Raila identify himself more with the opposition than with government. And these people in opposition, the likes of Kalonzo, they've been together for many years, apart from 2007 when they differed, and but later on they reconciled, and they've been together since 2013 to 2022. So denying him an opportunity to speak at his funeral, that was lack of wisdom from the government. And you know, when government is led by people who are not very sharp, sometimes these things happen. I think Ruto could have just broken protocol, invite Kalonzo to say something and represent the opposition. Sio ati wote wakuja waongee, just Kalonzo to speak. That could have been enough, because Martha Karua was just he was just a running mate once, but Kalonzo has been there. 2013, 2017, 2022 also supported Raila, even though Raila had relegated him from being a running mate to a prime cabinet secretary in quotes. So I think that way, that in that case, I wish they can rectify that on Sunday by allowing Kalonzo to speak in Bondo. That is if he will be there, because that they could have now rectified that mistake, because that was not a good that was not good at all. And from the organizers, and I blame this on Kindiki and Bruto, because the two are responsible for this mess. So they need to rectify that on Sunday. Allow Kalonzo to speak on the on Raila's funeral. This guy has been stood with Raila as his comrade for more than 15 years. They have been comrades. They've been tear gas together. Hata kama Kalonzo alitoroka ile siku ya swearing in, we forgave him na wakarudi wakaendelea tena kuwa comrades. So they've been together. Hata Wasufuria movement, they were together 2023. So they must allow Kalonzo to say something kwa matanga ya Raila Odinga. That is the only logical thing to do. even in African tradition, even just in a logical way, allow this guy to say something. Haitaleta hasara yote kwa broad based government, haitaleta hasara yote kwa mtu yote. They'll just be doing the right thing. So that is where I will leave at today. Thank you so much, my co-panelists. Thank you so much, Gypsy Corner, and those all who are listening to us. Until we meet again next time, Mungu awabariki sana. Let's continue mourning Baba in peace, na tumzindikishe salama on Sunday, na tusonge mbele kama nchi, tuzidi kujenga Kenya yetu. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barak. And you've mentioned something about leadership. You know, in most advanced country, or in where there's a maturity when it comes to leadership, you know, there are times when politics, we put our politics aside and bring nationalhood, you know, that Kenyaism, because if indeed, if we say like the person who has been with Raila is Kalonzo Musyoka, and His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka has been with Raila for quite a long time, almost 15 years, and sacrificing his support, especially. And give that. And remember, he was out of the country, and he had a fora that he was going to attend for 10 good days, but he has to cut short his journey, or he has to carry his program and come back and mourn Raila Odinga. And he came to the stadium, they saw him, and even if it is that political, you don't agree politically. And even though Kindiki, the deputy president, came and mentioned it when he was giving his evening updates on what will be taking place, at the committee, but he mentioned he recognized the presence of Kalonzo Musyoka. That was not enough, and they could have even given him a chance to say hi. And I concur with you, Mr. Barak, that they should rectify that by allowing Kalonzo to try to use another camera. Kolo, can you check that camera? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
I think there's a problem with my camera where we are at.
I think your camera, but your audio is okay.
Okay, we can continue with my audio. So,
yeah, we can continue the audio because Joseph is also in.
Yeah, so Joseph would weigh in his thoughts, especially on the Kalonzo Musyoka and also regarding Gachagua. Then we can close the show. I know tomorrow Makubura will be here because tomorrow I have engagement. I will be at Maseno University. We've been invited over there for a function. So Makubura will be here to run the show. Thank you, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you, Brother Benson, for this opportunity. I want to take a very few minutes to say about Kalonzo and Rigathi. But I've heard all of you here complaining maybe about Kalonzo not being given a chance to talk today at Nyayo Stadium. But I would like to differ a bit and think maybe today was only the program for heads of state. Maybe it was a very tight program, because even if you look at the additional time that was given, we were never told that there will be a parliamentary viewing in the morning. I think they saw it fit to bring a parliamentary viewing, and the parliamentary viewing changed the whole program, because if I think the body of the late Prime Minister arrived in Nyayo at around 9:45 or 9:50, around there. So I think it really changed the program. And I think also we should not look as only Kalonzo alone, because you clearly heard even Mama Ida saying that they don't have time. They spoke and say they don't have time to say everything, but they are going to speak at the function in Bondo. So I think really this one was not the time for them to make the speeches. I think the speeches are going to be done on Sunday, because I think today they could have not had that time, because they had other people coming from other guests, and people wanted to view the body in Nairobi for the first time, for the last time. So I think on Sunday everybody is going to get a chance to say something. All those leaders, even Mother Karua, even Matiang, even Kalonzo. I think on Sunday they'll do as they do when there is a service, because on Sunday I don't think there is so much to do on Sunday, because the body viewing will be done tomorrow. So on Sunday I don't think there will be too much to do. It will be just the speeches and remembrance of Raila, and maybe the service for the burial, and then maybe in the evening at 3. I always see people always go to the burial site at 3 p.m. evening. So I think they knew what they were doing. Maybe today was not, and it's not only in this state burial, also the one for Mwai Kibaki. You saw they were told they were not able to speak. You remember they told certain speakers they are not going to be able to speak. I think it's because Raila. Always say he was the fourth arm of government, so he was going to. They were going to break the protocol anytime and let him speak. So I think they are going to have a chance on Sunday. It's just maybe the schedule today was very tight, because you saw if they could have tried to switch that schedule, brother Benson, there is so many things that need to be done. Ama mjui kuna vitu mingi sana zinahitajika kufanyika. That gun carriage you saw today in Nyayo, it's supposed to be there in Kisumu. Inafaa kuwa imetransportiwa Kisumu, because it is supposed to come out from. I think they are going to have it's going to be from Rhodes to Kisumu, Jomo Kenyatta Stadium, Mambo Leo, I think. It's going to go through the road with that gun carriage, and the same gun carriage is going to take Raila from the late Prime Minister, from Kisumu Stadium, that Jomo Kenyatta Stadium, to Bondo. So you see, there's so many things that need to be done. There is the gun carriage need to be taken there. There is that the gun salute, the gun salute, that thing for the gun salute, because it's going to happen. If that one will happen on Sunday in the barrio, they're going to have maybe a 19. Raila was not ahead of state, so I think they'll give him 19 gun salutes. So that one I think also will be taken to Kisumu. So there's so many things that need to be transported there, brother. I think that's why even there was no time to do all this, and then people still needed to view. So I think that's why even they finished the viewing and everything at 4 p.m. And then they started the if you want to know, it is time they did not have the Raila's body being transported by the gun carriage to Lee. Haikuenda na gun carriage, ilienda na hearse, because they need to transport the gun carriage and all these equipments to Kisumu. Then the body tomorrow also, when it is going to the airport, I'm telling you this as a fact. When it's going to go to the Wilson, maybe it will go to the Wilson airport, because there is where it will be taken by the Air Force One, what we call Air Force One, I think, this Kenyan Simba One. It's going to be taken from there to by a hearse. You will see it will be taken morning by a hearse. So all these arrangements, brother Benson, lazima zitakuwa hivyo. Kuna hizo pikipiki zinafaa kutransportiwa, so the pikipiki zile za convoy lazima zitransportiwe, zipelekwe. So I think it's all about, they did not have time. People could have spoken, but there was limited time. Then also the crowd was very, ulikuwa unaona the crowd was very fiery. So I think even that's why some of the leaders were not given chance to speak. Our president, some of them, because they could have not been audible. For Gachagua, as I finish, Gachagua, what I can tell Gachagua, if you are a true leader, you need to go and face the crowd. Whether the crowd is hostile to you, you need to face them and tell them and give your condolences. Because if it was Ruto at that time he was campaigning, whether he was going to a hostile area, that's why one time I always look at Ruto and I admire some of the skills he had. even if he is going to a hostile place that don't support him, he's going to still come out and give the condolences if he's going to give them. And also the crowd will be a bit hostile, but he's going to be able to speak. Once you have taken the mic and you have started speaking, people will be hostile, but after they'll cool down and listen to what you're saying. So I think for him saying that he wants to become a presidential candidate, that one is just a joke. You cannot become a presidential candidate and you yourself, you cannot even be able to go to certain areas and be able to kama unaogopa kuenda kwa crowd kama hii iko hostile, how will you become a presidential candidate, brother? So
Yes.
that one is already written off the books. If they are going to try a candidate, let them try either Matiang'i or Kalonzo. So
Okay.
for him, I also want to say one thing. He needs to know that talking too much also is reckless.
Yeah.
I think he talks too much, and when you become a leader of certain stature, my friend, you need to know to mind some things that you say. Not everything that goes with you is okay. With everybody that you're going to say is okay. That's why I really admire Uhuru's mouth. If you hear Uhuru talking, he's very keen with what he says. Even if he's going to abuse, he's going to tell you some things that you don't like. Hata kuambia direct, atakwambia na kifumbufumbu hivyo. So, but this guy, he needs to mind on what he's saying. Kenya is not for only the mountainers alone. Kenya is a big country with 42 and so tribes. So when you are talking, you affect some people in certain areas. So just mind on what you are saying. It's good utajiona kama wewe unasema ukweli. Ni ukweli pia alikuwa anasema baby baba hakuwa anasikia vizuri. But say it in a more decorum way. Another thing I would like to say is about hiyo ya Gachagua nimemaliza, hata sina mambo mingi ya kuongea. For bunge angeenda bunge aje na already yesterday they called him out. You remember they called him out? They called out Gachagua and they called out Wamaua. You remember Wamaua? The MP called Wamaua. They called them out yesterday in bunge. So I don't think bunge wangeenda.
And the bunge impeached him. How could he go where he was impeached?
And also he cannot go to the presence of bunge but I think he could have gone because you saw the lights of Akina Musila going there. This CEC, I think he could have gone because I see like people had been given watu leaders walikuwa wamekubaliwa tu kwenda, even Akina Muturi is not but Muturi was next nini, but I saw even Mother Karua, and he does not have any stature in the government. I think he could have been allowed, lakini sasa ile kitu ingefanyika kungekuwa na tension. There could be that tension between them, because the ODM were the ones who are leading the singing and everything there, so it could have been tension all through. I think it's wise for him also, he thought to stay at home.
So it's something that you could have weighed it on his side. You could have looked at it on his side, and also you could also look at it on
that's why I looked on both sides. I looked on his side. It is maybe a security. I saw somebody saying it's a security risk, but also I would look on the other side also. So I looked on both sides. But for there's something I wanted to say about naendelea kusema kuhusu kitu about Uhuru na sahau. I think nikiendelea kuongea I'm forgetting. So what I would like to say at the last and final comments of mine today, we have not been together with you, brother Benson. Niko na mambo mingi sana ya kuongea. So I would like the people in Kisumu, please just be calm and settle, because if you don't settle, I don't want to see another case of what happened in Kasarani Stadium. It is very aggressive, and the person who did that, the police, my friend, the police, they need to know, they need to learn. I think they need to be taken to training. Police need to be taken to training. You don't use tear gas anywhere, my brother. You don't use bullets anywhere. These are people who have come to know. Talk to them. So it means there is no training that is given to the police so that they can be able to handle people and talk to them and cool them down. So this is very unfortunate. I can never like to see another scene like that. We cannot be going to mourn Baba alafu watu wengine wanauliwa. It has no logic. You see, it has no logic. It is very painful.
And if you listen to what Oburu Odinga said, especially in the last briefing that they had a few hours ago, he said that you cannot tear gas Baba while he was alive, and in his death also he's still being tear gas. So, I know it was overwhelming, especially for police, the crowd and all that. But like, I think they, as you say, maybe they should get more training to know on how to control crowd. Yeah.
Yes, and I would like to plead with my people from Nyanza and all the regions, because tomorrow it will be a very difficult. Tomorrow will be one of the difficult ones. It's not even Nairobi, was not the difficult ones. In Kisumu, it will be one of the difficult ones, and Bondo, because we have. I was talking to somebody else, and I'm telling him that we have 5 counties which are converging in one area. 5
Yes.
counties. And we have not counted Kakamega, because they're saying they are coming from Kakamega and the counties that surround. I'm counting the Nyanza region counties. And I've not even included Kisii and Nyamira. I've
Okay.
included only Migori is a county, Migori County, Vihiga County, Siaya County, Homa Bay, and Kisumu County. Those are the counties I was only counting. So imagine those 5 counties, people are going to converge all of them in Jomo Kenyatta. So I think also they should take the mortal remains of the Prime Minister earlier, so that they can be able to have the viewing from 8 to till, even if it will take till 8 p.m. It's okay. Even if it is 8 p.m. because I hear it's going to be taken to Bondo for
Actually,
the meeting.
actually, the body should be arriving at around by 8. The body will be here. And what I heard Raymond Omolo say, the PS, Dr. Raymond Omolo was saying that everybody should be in the stadium by around 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, but also the study is very small, brother.
I was there.
It's
I was
big, or
there.
I think it's small, no?
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
too
big.
small. It's
So
not enough.
I think what
So
they could have done, they could have looked for. There is a showground. Si kulikuwa na showground, they could have just built one tent
hapo
for the
ndio iko
showground.
hiyo showground you're talking about. That's where the stadium is.
So I would have loved kama kulikuwa na kiwanja kubwa, watu wawekeo tu hema katikati, then they could line up and put the terraces. Mtu akiingia anatoka ile side nyingine anaenda, wanaingia hivyo hivyo. It could have been easy. Like what they did. You see why Nyayo there was no confrontation? Because there was arrangement. Mtu alikuwa mnaambiwa, polisi wamegadi ile side nyingine, watu wameletwa pamoja, so mnapitia line moja mkitoka hii side nyingine. So and even the person who had programmed for Raila to be viewed in parliament was a joke. That was a joke. You cannot fit Raila Odinga in parliament. He's bigger than that. I think he's bigger than Kasarani. You saw that. So the person who was trying to fit him in, but I think also they are learning. Unajua hii ni kitu, brother Benson, I'm just talking to my me Paul and naongea mingi. I have just come talking from my friend and telling him, do you know why it is difficult also for Uhuru Kenyatta to and President Ruto for these things, to have this kind of state funerals? It's because we are learning process. We have never had a president dying. The last president who died was 1978. Then we had a president dying in 2020. Then that one was a difference of 42 years. Then we had another president die 2 years, and is from a different area. One is from Kabarak, the other one is from Nyeri. Now we have a leader who has left us, is from Kisumu. It's very different areas. Also, the communities also are very different. So I think it's somehow a kind of a very hard. Also the army, I think they are really getting it. They are trying to get up with this one. But I hope the people are going to become tomorrow. They need to become, and they need to become, and just follow the protocol. It's easier also when you follow the protocol. You're going to view the body very fast instead of chaos. When there's chaos, it is a problem.
It's a mess.
Thank
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Joseph and Miguda. And I know tomorrow Makobura will be here to update us on what will take place. And for this is Brother Benson. If you're here for the very first time, you can subscribe to this channel. Let me take this opportunity to thank Gibson Corner and everybody who was on the comment section. And as we continue to mourn Raila Amolo Odinga, and we continue to send our deepest condolence messages to the family of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, including that of Raila Amolo Odinga, till we have another session tomorrow, same time, same place with the same panelists. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.